Don't worry, I'll take her down gently. Unlike you, I know how to treat a lady. I'd never seen anything quite like the sight that greeted us as we approached that pyramid. The sky was filled with Daleks, buzzing about like deadly wasps attending their new hive. And there, sitting atop the apex of the pyramid like a grotesque idol, was an oversized Dalek. But this was no run-of-the-mill, exterminate everything in sight and declare itself superior pepperpot. It was a Dalek factory. And from where we were standing, it looked significantly bigger on the inside. Ah, reminds me of the good old days. Caligula was a real ball at parties. Only Nero could see this now. Don't we try that again, hmm?
Circumstances, Doctor? Oh, I know. Run! Next step, total world domination.
Wales, a sleepy little town called Llandaff, which I suppose might have been idyllic if you were interested in such things. It was another sign of Freya's ingenuity, hiding one of her factories away here, where she could quietly process the local population, away from the attention of the big cities. I was starting to think I might like to adopt the young woman, much like the Doctor enjoys surrounding himself with human acolytes. Although her genocidal Dalek instincts might have proved a problem. If only because all that shouting had already given me something of a headache. We arrived to find the Dalek factory was busily stamping out new model Daleks, just like the others, with human captives being herded towards their doom by a small army of Freya's monstrous hybrids. The Doctor was adamant that this time he wanted to take a look inside. He dressed it up as a plan, of course, claiming he'd have to set the factory self-destruct from the inside this time. But I knew his game. I always know his game. His curiosity was getting the better of him. No sooner had we set foot outside of his TARDIS than things finally started to get interesting. And there it was. The Daleks had finally come to police their own. And to my mind, it was long overdue. And then it was over. Oh, the look on the Doctor's face. I hadn't seen that look since our first encounter in the Neversphere. That childlike shock. That innocence. I imagine that's the expression he'll wear the day I finally kill him. As if he'd been too foolish, too naive to expect it. But then a leopard doesn't change its spots. And neither do Daleks.
Doctor? Oh, thank goodness. We've been trying to reach you. You need to get to London right away. Things are out of control. There are Daleks everywhere.
They came out of nowhere. Our worst nightmare. The very thing the Doctor had warned us about, time and again. The coming of the Daleks. Those poor, poor people. We thought we were ready. But for all the early warning systems, all the years of preparation, we found ourselves utterly powerless to stop them.
Oh, don't be so melodramatic, dear. What did you expect? You're only humans, after all.
Yes, thank you for that. You do well to remember that not all of us are entirely human.
Ah, yes. You're one of those sneaky little shapeshifters, aren't you? For all the good it's done. You still rolled over and let them trundle in, didn't you? I wonder, if I killed you again, would another one just pop up and take your place? I'm tempted to give it a try.
Do we really have to put up with this?
Oh, you poor things.
They knew where to find us. We didn't have time to launch a counterattack. All we could do was flee. It took 3 minutes. 3 minutes until they'd seized control, until the entire capital was lost. We scrambled as many operatives as we could, deployed troops to the streets, kick-started the evacuation. But it was too little, too late. We'd already lost.
Oh, you poor things.
We had protocols, at least. We knew where to go during a hostile takeover. And so we made it here, to a small mobile base that we keep on hand, constantly circling London. Well, most of us did. There were those who weren't so lucky.
No use crying over spilt milk. It's too late for them now. They'll already be halfway to waving a sucker about and squawking, "Exterminate!"
You really are a dreadful woman, aren't you?
Oh, that's very kind of you to say. Thank you very much.
Anyway, that's when I called for the Doctor. Doctor, we're picking up incoming Dalek saucers. They're bringing in reinforcements.
Those aren't reinforcements. Those are your worst nightmare. The Dalek Purity Squad, come to pick a fight with the upstarts. Now there's really gonna be fireworks over London. He's really left me in charge of all this tech?
Don't get any funny ideas.
Oh, don't be so boring. Everyone needs a little fun from time to time, don't they? Now, let's see.
Did weapons systems like gnats.
Welcome, Doctor. Welcome to the heart of the new Dalek Empire.
Goody! Can I play too?
Now we're giving her an army.
That's not an army, dear. That's little more than an expedition. During the Time War, I stood at the head of 1,000 battle TARDISes. I watched Dalek fleets burn in the Promethean Zephyr. I ordered legions of the Reborn into chronal battles that waged for 1 billion years. This is child's play.
Then what are you going to do?
Well, the friendly little Dalek Supreme is currently transferring control of his Purity Squad to this mobile base. And the Doctor wants to get to Westminster. So we are going to help him.
You are?
I know! Who'd have thought being a good girl could be so much fun?
And so it came to pass that the Doctor forged an alliance with his most hated enemies. An alliance founded on mistrust, an alliance constructed with a single purpose: to prevent the colonization of Earth. To stop me. I had hoped the Doctor would understand, that he'd see the beauty in what I was doing, recognize that there was no other choice. I wanted only to save everyone. But he was as small-minded as the rest of them, and he left me little choice. He sided with them. He aligned himself with the enemy, the ones who had murdered my family. And as a consequence, he left me with no other choice but extermination! Exterminate! You know nothing, Doctor. All that posturing, all that talk of saving the universe, protecting Earth, it means nothing. Because you never do what needs to be done. The Daleks will destroy the universe. It's only a matter of time. Deep down, you know this to be true. And yet you do nothing. Time and again. You allow them to live. Oh, you fight your little battles. Stop them conquering this world or that. But when it matters, you've never had the guts to pull the trigger. That's what I'm doing here, Doctor. Finishing your work. Taking it to its logical conclusion. The Daleks will eradicate all other life forms in the galaxy. But not if the only other life forms are Daleks. And believe me, I learned the hard way. Back on Frasier, I had such a limited view of the universe. I didn't understand the horrors waiting for me in the darkness. But then the Daleks came and showed me the light, showed me how naive I'd been. I knew then what had to be done. And you, Doctor, you're not going to survive long enough to stand in my way!
It's no good. She's locked me out. He's alone in there.
Well, there's a turn up for the books. You actually care, don't you?
Well, I wouldn't go that far. But then I do have a reputation to uphold. What would people think if I allowed the Daleks, of all things, to put an end to the Doctor? Wouldn't look good, would it? Only I have that privilege. That's supposed to be my job.
Yeah, well, you keep telling yourself that. But in the meantime, what are we going to do? If we're locked out of the system, there's nothing we can do.
Well, back off to the TARDIS. You please yourself.
You're not leaving, are you?
Well, it's all looking pretty desperate for where I'm standing. So what do you think?
It's no use, Doctor. It's too late. There's nothing else for it. The plan must continue. Assimilate or nothing. All will be like us! No surrender! Engage self-destruct systems! Goodbye, Doctor.
Gone for good? Oh, I don't think so, Doctor. You don't get rid of me that easily. Still, I don't suppose a brief sojourn would do me any harm. I've been meaning to get up to some trouble on Viridia for some time. They do have the most amazing pain thresholds on that planet. Anywho, I don't suppose you'll be following me for a while. By the time you've repaired the little bit of sabotage I carried out on your console, the trail will have gone cold. But you'll be seeing me again. You can be certain of that. And besides, you still owe me a bottle of pastis.